have this Hr21, quite old one here. The engine doesn't start and it's not even cranking. So there is possible issue with the starter motor or something to the signals, with the signals to the starter motor. So we're going to do some checks here to try to identify the problem, and then we go from there. So this is my machine here. So if you switch machine on, so if we go glow, with the glow I can hear the relays are clicking. Go to start, nothing happens. So inside the control box here we have a engine PCB board on this side, so we're gonna have a look into that. And the box full of leaves here. I don't know where they came from, but they are here. So I don't think it's a problem, well, or it's causing engine start issues here, but that definitely is not helping. So I'm measuring the voltage on a 12 VD here. So that's your main supply. So we have a 13.7 volts, and I'm using the negative here for the ground reference. If I go to glow now, so I would expect that voltage to come down a bit. So 3, 2, 1, glow. Yeah, so the voltage drops down. That's normal, because the glow takes around 30 amps, I think, current or so. So the voltage is dropping down on the battery. So we do have a good supply, and we have a relays working here. You see the glow. If I go to start, okay, I have some relays are working with the start. Let's try again. So I'm going to start one more time. It's holding start now. There's nothing happening, and it's not cranking. So at the same time I'm holding the start now, and I'm measuring voltage on the start wire, and I have nothing there. Okay. So when I'm going to start, I should have voltage on IG wire here. That's the ignition wire to alternator. So I'm going to try to hold this here, and a camera and a multimeter here, and I'm going to start the engine now. So it's a 3, 2, 1 start, and we get the voltage here. So we get the voltage to run alternator, and I release the switch now, and the voltage is present there. Okay, so you see 12 volts on the IG wire. So that is to maintain alternator and the charged 12 volt battery. So next we need to check if we have a ground on the L wire. So the L wire is actually should be ground. So if I'm taking 12 volts from here and I put my negative on L, I should have a 12 volts, but I don't have that. So we're not getting the ground on L wire. And most commonly that would be the issue with the alternator. So we can test that by adding the link wire between this terminal L and a ground, and see if we're gonna get cranking. So what I've done now, I just removed the L wire from the terminal. As you can see here, that's my L wire, and I added this just a fly lead here, and then connected into the terminal here, and I just ground it into here on the ground, because I know for sure this L should have a ground. Okay, and what we're gonna do now, I haven't tried it yet, but I will try to see if it's cranking. I'm not necessarily expecting for engine to start, but I just want to see if it's gonna allow me to crank. And at the same time we're gonna measure the voltage on the start wire. Okay, here. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna measure against the battery ground, and that's a voltmeter. So 3, 2, 1 start. I'm not sure if you can hear, but actually the engine is starting over now. So it's trying to start, and we're getting the voltage on the start wire. If you look at the multimeter, so 3, 2, 1 start, we're getting voltage to the start. So it's actually, this test is just proving the point that we're not getting the ground from the alternator into L wire. So there is 2 reasons for that. It's either way the wire broken from here up to alternator, or there is something with the alternator itself. So that's engine side, and the alternator is here at the back. So these 2 wires here, one is L, one is ignition. So we should have a continuity from this plug to that board, but I came to do the continuity check, and what I noticed here is that the plug seems like it's not all the way in and is loose. Yeah, it's not clipped in, because normally you have this clip here, so it's not all the way in. So what I will try to do now is I'm gonna put this all the way back in. It's clicked in, I can hear the click, and then we're gonna try to measure L signal, see if we have a ground now. So back to control box. So I have a voltage now 12 VD and the ground here, so I'm gonna move the ground onto our L wire here, right there. And yeah, so look at that, now we have a ground here. See, so we have, so actually it was quite easy fixing. Just the connector is not all the way in, but by creating the loop we can actually prove the point that is alternator related issue and not the starter motor or the board. So let's just see if it's going to start now. Yeah, so that's all starting fine. So that was quite easy one. Yeah, so if you have problems with engine start, make sure you have a ground on L, or if you don't have a ground on L, then try to run a fly lead and just prove the point is linked to alternator, because without this ground here it will not allow you to crank the motor as you just seen it.